Hi there guys, and welcome to a sort of end of year Jonesy's vlog thing. Gonna be looking over the past year just very briefly, looking ahead to next year into 2015. You know, what I'm looking forward to, things that are gonna change here on the channel. But I'm gonna start off with something that I did at the end of last year. Quite a few people do it, and they kind of look at New Year's resolutions and things that are gonna change about themselves. And I got this idea from an old friend of, at the end of each year, kind of writing down a list of goals you're wanting to achieve for the next year, and then putting that in an envelope and putting it away, and then looking at it at the end of the next year to see, you know, what you've achieved. So I did this at the end of 2013, did it on December the 31st. Now on this I don't even know if this will pick up on the camera or not. It does say don't open until the 31st of December. Now although to you today is the 31st of December, I'm actually doing this on the Tuesday. Pre-recorded stuff and all that. But you know, there's nothing in here that I'm, you know, suddenly going to achieve tomorrow or anything. So I genuinely cannot remember what I wrote in here. I think I remember writing down the amount of subscribers I was aiming to get by the end of this year, but I can't remember what that number was, and I can't remember the other stuff that I wrote down. So here we go. So, well, no expense spared here on the thing. Wow, I even signed it as well there at the bottom, just to make it legit. So 2014 objectives, written on December 31st, Tuesday at 3:40 PM. Bloody hell, I was very specific back then. Wow, Jesus. Number 1, control my depression. I think I've been over this before, really, about kind of saying controlling depression. I think I've come to realise over this year it is the wrong kind of terminology to use, controlling depression, because when you've got it, it's definitely in control of you. No matter how hard you try or how you try to kid yourself, there's not really that much you can do about it. But I think what I was trying to kind of get at was, because at that point when I wrote this, I will have still been on my medication, so maybe I was talking about trying to get away from the medication and just trying to deal with it myself without relying on that. And I have done that. You know, when it's about a month or 2 months into the new year, I made the decision to slowly sort of wean myself off the medication. For those of you watching that maybe do have depression and are on tablets, make sure you check with your doctors first, and do it properly. You know, don't just suddenly one day stop taking your medication. If you're on a certain dosage, you need to do it slowly, and maybe just have one every other day, and then maybe once a week or something. Just slowly do it that way, because if you just come off it straight away, it's going to have some really bad effects on you, and that isn't what you want to do. But I did do that myself, and this year, you know, well, compared to 2013, my depression has been much better. You know, I've been, again, I don't want to say I've been in control of it, but I feel I've been able to handle it better than what I could back then. Still have really bad days. Sort of towards the end of this year, started going downhill again a little bit, but I think I could kind of pinpoint maybe certain triggers that were happening at that moment in time that caused that to happen, perhaps. But yeah, certainly, I don't want to say I'm in control of my depression, but I think I've definitely handled it better, so I think I can probably take that off the list. Number 2 was get a job. Well, I did that as well. Literally, I think when I wrote this, I knew that I was having an interview for a job at that point, but I wasn't really holding out much hope. But it was a case of going to the interview, getting that done with, getting the call later in the afternoon to say that I got it, and starting the very next day. So that was the 7th of January that I started my job up in Yeadon at a furniture shop, and I'm still there and still, you know, going strong in it. You know, enjoying it as much as you can enjoy work. You know, I work with a great bunch of people. You know, there's tough days, there's easy days, there's boring days, there's fun days, as all kind of jobs have. But yeah, I mean, that was the main problem with 2013, trying to find a job and having nothing to do was a real ball ache, and really affected my life. So this year, you know, being in a steady job, which has had its major low points. I'm not going to go into details here about things that have happened, but yeah, some certain things happened at the shop which made things difficult, to say the least. But we all got through it, and we're all looking forward to sort of starting afresh this coming year. But yeah, got myself a job, so I can take that off the list as well. So number 3, this is an important one. Work harder on YouTube and aim for 300 subscribers. So, well, I'll go for the 300 subscribers first. So I think currently at this moment in time I'm on 526. That is amazing. I mean, that's, you know, that's all down to you guys. You know, thank you so much. I've said it before, and I'll always say, you know, without you guys, I'm nothing. And I know recently things haven't been great, and I haven't been uploading a lot, or well, hardly anything, to be honest, at the moment. But times have been hard recently, but I'll get onto that in a minute anyway. But yeah, thank you to you guys for making this year so amazing on YouTube. Totally outdone my expectations. You know, I was thinking I'd be lucky to get 300 subs, so to get, you know, nearly double that is pretty amazing, really. You know, I have put so much work and so much time and money into making things a lot better for my YouTube channel this year, and of course that was enhanced by starting the second channel up with Lee and Charlie and Bartak Gaming. You know, a lot of hard work has been put into that as well, and things are going to change for both channels next year, definitely for the better, I think. And hopefully things will skyrocket. Yeah, I'm really hoping for things to skyrocket and just to get things better. Although I say recently things haven't been great for the channel, I've still, you know, behind the scenes and what people don't see, been putting in so much hard work and time and thinking into how I can improve things, make things better for myself. You know, to enjoy it more, and hopefully things that you will enjoy more as well. But like I say, I'll get onto that at the end of this. So number 5, I had learned basic Italian. Now, when I was writing this, I just downloaded an app called Duolingo. I mean, Italian is something I really do want to learn so much, because I'm totally in love with that country. And want to go back as many times as I can, and just one of those times I want to be able to go back and actually be able to speak, you know, basic Italian with them. That hasn't happened this year. It's the first thing that I haven't managed to really do, which kind of has annoyed me, but I think I'd set myself a lot to do this year, and with everything that has been going on, there just hasn't really been the time. So I think what I'm going to do is move this onto sort of next year's list, really, because it is something I'm passionate about, something I really do want to do. You know, in school I learned French and German, and I mean I've really not kept up to that at all. You know, I still remember the very basics in German and French. Maybe more German I can remember. But yeah, I think I'll push the Italian onto next year. Something I just missed out there. So number 5 was to learn basic Italian. Number 4 was stop moaning about insignificant things. Now that was something I was doing a lot, sort of back in 2012, 2013. Again, maybe it was down to the depression or something, but I was getting myself downbeat and moaning about things that, looking back at it, really didn't matter, even in the slightest. And it was annoying me because I knew I was doing it, and that was annoying me as well, but I couldn't really stop myself doing it. So like, you know, all the Leeds United fans out there and football fans know that, you know, if you lose a football match and everything, it can kind of ruin your weekend, and that's just a kind of natural instinct kind of thing, especially if you're into that kind of thing. But I was wanting to stop it getting as bad as, say, what my dad is, because he can get so bad when Leeds United lose, and especially the amount we're doing it recently. You know, I couldn't really afford to be always letting it get to me that much, so I've managed to actually do that this year. But again, just moaning about other everyday things in life. I mean, you know, especially recently over Christmas, there has been so many shitty things happening out there, and the news has been, you know, even more depressing to watch really than normal. I mean, the awful events up in Glasgow, you know, the Ebola virus and outbreak and everything, and just all things that have been happening all over the world, terrible things everywhere. It just puts everything into perspective, and I know it happens on a daily basis, and we're all guilty of doing it, but if something happens to you that really at the end of the day has no real significance to your life, and you feel yourself getting down about it, just stop for 1 minute and just think about how worse things could be for you, and, you know, think about what's happening around the world, because, you know, so many of us are so lucky in our lives to do what we do and just to be healthy, and so many other people don't have that luck. So for us to moan about some of the things we do, it's not great really, and this year that's something I've learnt to kind of curb really, so I think I can say I've successfully stopped moaning about insignificant things. Number 6, I don't know, maybe I was drunk when I was saying this, but attempt to get a girlfriend. That was a very mature thing to say. I don't really know why I put that, but yeah, not been successful this year with girls, but that doesn't really bother me too much. I've learned that, you know, things just happen. It's pointless going out there looking for things, because if you try really hard, you only get yourself down when things don't work out. So just go with the flow, and if things happen, they happen. So I won't be putting that on next year's list. Number 7, save money for own place. Yeah, I suppose I have been. Obviously having the job has helped a hell of a lot. And, you know, sometimes I've been, because this is the first year I've had a full-time constant job, obviously having a regular income of money has been kind of new to me. So, you know, I have spent, you know, I have tried to enjoy myself this year, but also I have been, you know, saving a lot and thinking towards next year to finally get my own place, and I am kind of on track, so hopefully mid to late next year I'm going to start seriously looking to get my own place, because, you know, as lucky as I am to still live with my parents, who I love very much and we really get on, you know, I can't stay here too much longer. I mean, you can see that this is my room, this is the size of my room, and this is pretty much where I run my YouTube channel from and do all the editing for Bartat. So you know, I really do need my own place and want to have my own independence. So yeah, I have been saving my own money for my own place, so I can tick that off. Be more spontaneous, number 8, an interesting one, and I suppose I have been a little bit more spontaneous with things I've been doing. I mean, I've made brand new friends through work and through YouTube and everything, so there's been a lot more sort of spontaneous trips out and everything. But to be quite honest with you, there's not been that many opportunities to be, you know, really spontaneous, you know, just suddenly saying one day, let's go for a trip to the coast or something, or, you know, something like that. There hasn't been that many opportunities, so it's hard to answer that one, but I think I have become more spontaneous this year. I've become a better person because of it, so I think I'll kind of half tick that off. Number 9 was start reading books again. I know that sounds like a strange one, but I've been someone who hasn't done much reading, but I do enjoy it, and it's something that I do enjoy doing, sort of, you know, before bed, getting myself tired and everything. And to be honest, I've failed here. I really have failed. I've got tons and tons of books this year, and I think I've maybe read 1 or 2. I'm not a big reader of novels and things like that. I'm more reading like autobiographies or information books and things. Like, for example, I've got the new Human Universe book from Brian Cox that accompanied the TV series, and I've got some more like Wonders of the Universe, and those are the kind of things I like to read. But I haven't done as much as what I'd really like to of this year. So again, I think I'm going to push that over sort of onto next year's list, and definitely start to read more, because I'd love learning new stuff, and, you know, constant learning is so good for you. And the way that I'm feeling and the way I'm wanting to really change my life for next year, I think it's important for me to get back in that that mode of reading books and just, like I say, learning new things and useful things as well. Number 10, no more stupid lions, whatever. So yeah, obviously last year, without having a job and not having anything to do, there were days where I was, you know, going to bed at a reasonable time, you know, 11 o'clock or something, but then I wouldn't be getting up till 11, 12 o'clock the next day, and, you know, there was nothing for me to do, there was nothing for me to get up for. But even still, that was wrong of me, you know, I shouldn't have been so lazy in doing that. So obviously this year, by having a job, you know, I've been getting up at sort of between 7 and 8 every day, and been doing a full day, so I've been genuinely tired when it comes to sort of 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I'm getting decent amounts of sleep, you know, just the right amounts of sleep. You know, when I've had my days off, I have still had lay-ins, but it's not been to 11, 12 o'clock, it's maybe been 10 at the latest, and been trying to sort of get up at 9 o'clock most days and making the most of those days, because, you know, you don't know what's around the corner in life, and, you know, wasting your days in bed is just a pointless thing to do. It really is. So yeah, I've definitely improved on that this year. Linking to number 10, number 11, I said make the most of every day, which some days maybe I haven't done amazingly. You know, I'm still trying to get, you know, around the depression and everything. You know, depression makes you not want to do things, but I'm not going to get into that now. But I do feel like I've been doing a hell of a lot more with my days, you know, whether it's been occupying myself with YouTube, going out with friends, sort of being more creative with my time and doing different things, spending my time doing different things, playing new and different games, watching new things, and just spending more time with family as well. Because, you know, like I said, you really don't know what is around the corner, and there's been a number of things that have happened this year that has made me more aware of that. And, you know, life is way too short to be wasting your days in bed, sitting around doing fuck all. I know some people would argue that's what I do anyway with YouTube, but, you know, at least you feel like you're doing something and contributing something to the world that others maybe aren't. So yeah, I think I probably have done that this year to a pretty good effect. So yeah, I think overall I've not done too bad there. I think out of the 11 things, I've probably done definitely sort of 9 of them. So yeah, overall 2014 has been, well, it's been a hell of a lot better than 2013. I mean, that wouldn't have taken much. 2013 was a real shitter for me. But yeah, this year things have definitely looked up. Like I said, there has been some really bad down days this year due to certain things. But overall, I feel I'm a much better person at the end of 2014 and a much happier person at the end of 2014 than I was at the end of 2013. So looking ahead to 2015, like I say, some of the things on there I'm kind of carrying over that I'm wanting to do. But one of the main things I'm doing, and I'm also going to start doing with Lee and hopefully Charlie, is getting myself fit and healthy again. And I know that is your typical New Year's resolution, you know, thing to say, you know, I'm going to lose the fat, lose the weight and everything. But this is a genuine attempt to make myself happier with how I look again, because this year let's just say let myself go a little bit. You know, I've put on a bit more weight than what I usually do. You know, I've usually been around an average sort of 12 stone, and this year I've been sort of going over the 13 stone mark, and, you know, getting a big belly and everything, and I'm just not liking the way that I look. You know, I've spoken about that in the past. You know, I'm very self-conscious due to, you know, the hair situation and just everything in general. But I've never really had anyone to help me get through, you know, getting fit and sticking to a regime. You know, my parents have always been there for me, and we've tried doing that in the past, but it just never really worked out. But after talking to Lee and everything, you know, he's wanting to get fit and healthy and things, and Charlie was up for doing it. So all three of us together are kind of gonna get each other through it. You know, sticking to a decent diet. You know, a fitness kind of regime of doing, you know, running and various things, using my home gym, and hopefully, you know, just start well, for me anyway, you know, I can't speak for the other guys, but I just want to feel happy with myself again, instead of every day constantly thinking I look like shit and thinking about what other people must think about me, because that's not the way you want to live your life. It really isn't. So hopefully that, like I said, that's sort of the main thing for next year for me personally. Looking to next year, YouTube wise, starting off, well, I'll quickly mention the Bartat channel, although I don't think anything's been mentioned yet, but I might as well mention it now. We're kind of having a major rebrand, rehaul, just overall change of the channel really, because although we're over the moon with how things have gone so far this year with the channel. I mean, we started it up in, it'll have been late July, I think. I believe it was in July, I think. Can't quite remember. You know, we've got ourselves up to 63 subscribers, and I mean, as I know and everyone else knows, getting started out on YouTube is the hardest thing to do. But once you start getting those subscribers and sort of holding on to them, that's when you can start to build on that. And I think, like I said, although we're happy with what we've put out this year and how things have gone, we realised we could do so much better. And I think in a way we've tried too hard with everything, and it's made things a little bit messy. You know, we haven't been sticking to a planned routine week to week. We haven't been sticking with certain sort of planned playlists, if you will. You know, there's things we've started and then not finished off, very much like me on my channel. And like I say, I think it's because we've been trying to please too many people, when really we've been getting to a stage where we're doing stuff that we're not actually that happy with. And at the end of the day, with creating content on YouTube, if you're not happy with what you're putting out there, or not happy with what you're doing, then it shouldn't be going out there. You know, even if there are people that enjoy it and like it, if it's not what you're wanting to do, then that shouldn't be the case. So we're not going to get rid of the videos or anything next year, but one thing we are doing is sort of changing titles, changing intros, and just changing our schedule really. So we're yet to have a proper discussion about what we're doing, but that's what you can expect there. Anyway, and joy of joys, my battery just decided to die on me, so yeah, that explains why it's now a bit darker, because it's about 20 minutes later. So anyway, yes, I was going on to my channel, changed on my channel. So kind of similar to what we were doing on Bartat, and kind of having a rehaul. I suppose it's not a rehaul on my channel because I'm not changing, you know, my content as such. But what I'm doing is seriously setting myself to a schedule and making things easier for me, because with the amount of stuff we were doing with Bartat and releasing sort of 3 or 4 videos a week, I was trying to do 2 to 3 videos on my channel. It was leaving me a hell of a lot of editing, not enough time to record as well, and was just getting me down really, and there was just way too much to do. So with getting less things to do on Bartat as well, and on my channel, it's going to make things a hell of a lot easier. So 2 main things are happening on my channel. I'll get into something I'm really excited about doing in a minute. So the first main change is going to be 2 main videos on my channel per week now. So one of those will be the vlogs. So obviously most weeks that's going to be a reaction to a Leeds United game probably, but as I mentioned in a couple of videos ago, if I haven't been to or seen the Leeds United match, I'm not going to do a reaction to that game. Unless something, you know, amazing or unbelievable happens sort of off the field or whatever, I won't always be sort of doing reactions to that. So, like I say, 1 vlog per week, mainly Leeds United based, but could be based on something else as well. The second main video will be a gaming one, obviously, because there's a lot of people there that subscribe to me for the gaming. So I'm going to carry on the Banjo-Kazooie series. I'm going to start that up again because I really enjoyed doing that, and that got a good reaction. Going to be doing a lot of new stuff as well. Going to try and venture into doing sort of sketches and kind of creating different content to what I usually do, instead of just sat playing a game and talking over it. Kind of more the style to my Hotline Miami video, which I did a while ago, a lot more kind of edited really, instead of just a big recording chunk. So So those are going to be the two main videos that I put up every week. Now, you're also going to be getting a lot more videos from me now, because something I've decided to do for this year, which I'm really excited about doing and think it will be just something new and something fresh for me to do on this channel, is I'm going to be doing a daily diary kind of video. So what will happen is, on the 1st of January, on New Year's Day, I will sort of record a few things during that day of what I've been doing or something I feel needs to be recorded, and then that will go up on the 2nd. So basically I will be putting up one day the day after. So so diary number 1 will be for the day previous. So you smart people, you know what I mean. Just because obviously sometimes I'll be recording stuff on the day and I won't be able to edit it and get it out in time that same night. Now some of these videos may be 10 minutes long, they may be 5 minutes long, maybe only 1 or 2 minutes long. It might be just something I've quickly wanted to record that day and just give my thoughts. But it's something I'm just really looking forward to doing, because it gives you guys a bigger insight into my life, and it just gives me something more to concentrate on and something to aim for next year, in making sure I record something every single day, whether it be big or small. So that's what you got to look forward to in 2015, guys. So I'm really looking forward to that. You know, going to be a hell of a lot more content from myself, and hopefully will lead on to bigger and better things. So I just want to finish by saying a massive thank you once again to you guys for making this year so special for me. It's been an amazing year, and I'm hoping next year can be even better. And you know, I aimed for 300 this year. I got to over 500. Maybe by the end of 2015 I might be up to 1,000, which will be absolutely amazing. But you know, I'm not going to count the chickens before the hatch. I'm just going to see what happens, and most of all just enjoy next year. So once again, guys, thank you very much for sticking with me during 2014. Hope you have had a fantastic Christmas, but hope you have a fantastic and happy New Year. And I will see you all very soon, guys. Thank you very much for watching. See ya.